done that with the arms. So it's been done with the upper control arm, lower control arm, ordinary knuckle, and then in that we do have the 250 hub on the front, getting that 8-stud hub. Again, steel wheels, need the 8 studs to get that clamping load that we need to meet all our requirements, is why we went with the 8 stud. So I borrowed that off the 250 from the States, that front hub there. Okay, and then I guess all of that obviously bolted to the frame. So I think about 6% of the frame is carryover. Is carryover. The rest of it is all new for the Super Duty. So it's been upgauge section, thicker sections, longer sections, more reinforcements in the frame, the cross members, the K-brace, all of that has been upgraded and reinforced to take these loads. One part, we haven't got to use the engine mounts, but I just know that was a huge one as well. The engine mounts of loads, you get coming from 4.5 tonne of GDM, you get up to 7 times more load than a Ranger through coming in through the frame and engine mount. So just, that's kind of, it's an exponential increase in loads. That's why everything has been updated along here. So, and I think as I may have heard me say before, it's not just springs and shocks with our GDM, we've literally done the whole underside of that. So working our way back, 130 litre fuel tank. This was another one, not an easy thing to change, not a small thing to change, but it was critical to the program for to keep this in to make sure we could get every litre we put out of there. We just know, talking to fleets and customers, the longer they can stay out in the field, the more they can get done, the less trips they need to do back to base. So your 130 litre fuel tank is just one of our criticals to getting packaged, and it's squeezed every inch of space we could from under the vehicle to get in there. Also meant putting a new that new cross member in to balance that tank further out. Just the weight of that whole shield underneath is just huge. So managing that to get every bit of fuel we put into this car to go to long haul. And then keep it on back, so get towards the back end here, the jumbo axle. As you said, so it's based off the Transit axle, but it's pretty much been redesigned. So we get it from the Transit family with the 8-stud hub is what we wanted, but then the tubes are upgauge, internal steels are upgauge, and all new steel and driveline for the locking diff, which I can't remember if I mentioned the front there, obviously front locking diff as well, so front and rear locking diffs. As I said, it feels like a cheat code off-road when you got both of those. It's amazing where you can go when you just lock both of those up. And another thing, very niche circumstance, but one of our operators was really excited to know that you can get front locking only, so you can run the front locker independent of the rear. So in a situation where you want to pull out, you don't want that back end pulling out, you can have just the front lock. So again, just little things like that, being able to tweak into it to make sure it operates that way. Sitting on top, obviously, is the rear. I think this is probably the one carrier component on the car from the Ranger, so that's a AdBlue tank there. Obviously, being a heavy-duty Stage 6 truck now, it's just diesel, you can't get away with that without the AdBlue, so we've got that in there at the top, packaged nice and high and safe out of the way to keep it clear of all the components. The thing I always forget to remember, so this thing sitting up on top here, that's actually the diff breather. So obviously all the breathers, all electronics, everything's sitting up above that 850 weight and depth. So that one, when you fit a tray, that comes up, you might see the line over there, you can attach to your rear filler, so it sits up nice and high. So your breathers are all sitting up nice and high to make sure your water weighting is not good. So obviously you saw some of the pictures last night, the water weighting we did, keeps all that out. I was going to say 850 sounds a lot. When you actually get in 850 ml of water, you're probably starting to get pretty painful. Anything above that, you're going to be, even 4.5 tonne, you'll start floating eventually. So yeah, 850 is plenty of weighting depth for it. And I guess working our way back to the leaf springs as well, obviously we've lengthened those, really stretched them out longer. A lot of advantages there. It's great for the dynamics, it spreads the loads coming through. Also gives you more articulation and travel as well, so improved our off-road handling as well. And obviously the leaf springs specifically designed to handle the load. And it was one of the first bits of feedback I gave when I did a long distance drive up to Queensland to do some testing with a fleet customer. Just the dynamics team, the way they tune these was just amazing. The way to handle laden, unladen, I wasn't expecting it to be that good myself. And so you've got different spring rates in here, and obviously a helper spring at the end, so as you load up, you stick those different dynamic rates in the springs to keep that performance and handling that you need to just keep things safe and comfortable along the way. And then towards the back end here, obviously you've got the tow bar, so 4.5 tonne tow integrated into the frame there with the tow hooks mounted on the back here. We don't have the front ones on this mule, but obviously all the others come standard with tow hooks. Like I said, make sure these were forged, got the casting, radius edges and everything to make sure you can fit your soft shaft in the care that is not destroying your equipment. So again, just from having that experience off-road. And the DAP bar, so what we call our driver assist technology bar at the back here. Something I guess we weren't sure about, obviously it's kind of a higher end feature having all these safety features. Well, something I learned very early on in the program from talking to a lot of the fleets. I guess generally kind of think fleet want the cheapest thing they can get, but what we found was the fleets wanted the safest thing they could get that's going to give them the most uptime. So if we've got sensors, there's less chance someone backing into something, hitting something, means the car's going to be on the road working, which is what they want. So that bar was really critical to a lot of those fleets. You get your bliss sensors, reverse park sensors, camera, and then the last one on the back you use the Pro trailer as well. So you've got a yaw rate sensor goes in your trailer, so you can use that dial and the sensor there to back up the trailers, which again wasn't something for the fleets would want. They said not all their people are great at backing trailers, so the simpler we can make it, the less chance there is of being an accident. So I'm quite happy to have that content feature in the vehicle. So I think that's my extremely quick rundown of the underside there. So I'm not sure if I've missed anything or anything more.